All right, this is the last video. If you're taking my course, this is the final video of the course, so very exciting. And this one's just a simple one on central tendency, so mean, median, and mode. And we're going to use, and range. And we're going to use a soccer ball simulator from the course. So I have a fun, sort of fun, I guess, activity that we can look at. So the first one we're going to look at is not the mean, 15 trials for median. And the median is, another word for the median is the middle value. Okay, the middle value. So we're going to have a bunch of data. We're going to have 15 sets of data, of course, for this one. We're going to write them down, but we're going to order from least to greatest. That's kind of the biggest thing for median. So order from least to greatest. So if you go to your course, you click this link to access the simulator. You're brought to this page. It says ages 5 to 7, but your grade's 5 to 7. I know this is grade 8, but that's totally fine. We're all kids at heart. And then you click start. And from this one, you can pick whichever one you want. However, we'll start with median. And then you can notice along the bottom, you can just switch between the 3 different central tendency measures of central tendency. So we have median, mean and median, and then variability, which is going to be the range. Mode isn't taught to you in this one, so I'm just going to, it's very simple to go through. So for this, we want 15 trials. So I'm going to click kick 5. I'm going to click kick 5 3 times. So they kick 5 soccer balls 3 times for a total of 15. And we'll see how the data is represented by all the soccer balls here. This one does not seem to be very random, but looks like a lot of people can kick very far. So typically what you would do is you have all your data above. And you would want, for median, of course, like we saw, you want to order them from least to greatest. It takes some time if you want to do that by hand, and you would, of course, have to do that by hand. But in this case, we have this little button over here that sorts the data from least to greatest. It's like a little magic button, makes things very easy. And these values I would write down in my chart. So I have 1, 5, 1, 9, 2 10s. Right, you go back through 11, 4 12s, writing in all of our data from here, 3 13s and 3 14s. Okay, so I have all my data written down. That should be a 14 at the end. And we need to find the median. The median, of course, is the middle value. And since I have 15 here, there's going to be 7 on the left and 7 on the right. That'd be 14. And the one in the very middle, the 8th one, is going to be the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one here is the 8th value. That is my middle. So therefore, that is my median. So that's how median works. You sort them from least to greatest, and you find the middle value. If you had 2 middle values, because sometimes if you have, this is with an odd number, it's very easy to find the middle. If you have an even number, if you had 14 sets of data, then what you would do is you would take the middle 2 values, add them together, and then you would divide by 2. Okay? That would be for even sets of data. Because we have an odd set of data, it's very easy to find the middle, like I said, because they're, you just count from the left to the right, the even number, and then that middle 8th value will be the 1. And of course, like all technology is very simple. You can just click a button and it will tell you what the median is. So the median in this case is 12. The mode is the one that occurs the most. Mode is the value that occurs, the most often. So in this case, if we look at our data, we can actually look along the bottom here. We can count the numbers first. We can say, you know what? I can see right away there's more 12s than anything. There's more 12s here. I can see it's the tallest value. So 12 is the mode. It's the median, and it's also the mode. If you had values that were all the same, say the most was like 3 or 4 soccer balls, and there was like 3 of them, you would write all those down. You would write 14, 13, like multiples of them. And you can have more than one number being the mode. That's okay. Okay, so that is the median. Next one, mean. Another word for mean is the average. And what we do for this one is we add all the values. And we divide by the number of values. Or I guess the number of data, what I always put. So let's do this experiment again. We're going to go over here to the mean one. I'm going to kick another 5. I'm going to do another 10. I just skipped ahead a bit. So this is 15 sets of data. We can see right away that the mode is, again, easy-ish. The mode is, of course, 4. So we can put that one down right away. Because I put the mode on each one just so kind of you know what's happening. And the median also gets shown this time too, which is very interesting. It counts them down and then shows you the median over here. The median is 4. We don't need that data right now, but that's good to know. And the mean, what it's going to do is it's going to add all the values together. So the 1, 1, the 4, 3, so 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 11 plus 12. And then it's going to divide by the number of data that we have, which is 15. We had 15 total sets of data, 15 total numbers of data. So we had all those values, we divided by 15, and we found the value to be 5.1. And of course, we could write in all the sets of data above. So I had 1, 1. I have 4 3s. 5 4s. 5, 6, 9, 11, 12. Okay, and all that data, we can add all those values up, and then we would divide by 15, right? Add the total up, divide by 15, and that would be equal to the mean, or average. Okay, mean and average are the same thing. So hopefully that one makes sense too. The last one we're going to look at is the range. The range is probably the simplest one. So again, I'm going to do 15 trials again. So I did 15 trials on this one. I have these clumps of data. Again, we have only one mode. If these were all 3, if 6, 7, 8, and 9 were all 3 high, then we would have 6, 7, 8, and 9 would all be the mode. But because we only have one that's taller, 9 is, of course, the mode. That's the one that occurs the most. And the range, what I do for range is I take the largest value, whoops, and then I subtract off the smallest value. Okay, oh, I should be writing all these values down. So 3 6s, 3 7s, 3 7s, were there 3 8s, 4 9s, and then 2 10s. That's all my data. So the range, I take the largest value, which is 10, largest, and the smallest value, which is 6. So I take 10 minus 6, which is equal to 4, and that is my range. Okay, so the largest value minus the smallest value will give you your range. So this shows you here your biggest, which is 10, minus your smallest, which is 6. It doesn't matter how many there are. That's only how many there are is only going to affect the mean and the mode, right? So that's fairly simple. Okay, so we already looked at how to solve for the mean. We looked at how to solve for the median and the mode and the range. All that information is above here and contained within the video. So that should be good enough for you to complete the final assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.